Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to World of Warships. Before we start, I'd just like to take the time to say thank you for clicking on this video. It means a lot to me that you're here. Today we are looking at the grand old lady of the Royal Navy, HMS Warspite. Queen Elizabeth class battleship, 8 15-inch guns, 24 knots maximum speed. I think it's about 13.5 inches of armor, probably wrong there. For her time, she was considered a fast battleship, because 24 knots was fast. Though at tier 6, she's not particularly fast anymore, she's rather sluggish actually. 24 knots is not, well, there are things that are a lot faster, from as low as tier 2.
Let's get to it.
One thing I like to point out about the new British voices that they've put in World Warships. One of them sounds a lot like Jeremy Clarkson. And I like Jeremy Clarkson. Sure, he's done some dickish things, but you know, that's kind of what he does. I don't care. I like him. But this video is not about Jeremy Clarkson. This video is about HMS Warspite, and isn't she a beauty? This, I believe, is Warspite in her 1941 configuration. So she has plenty of 20mm anti-aircraft guns. I think 2 or 4 mounts of octuple 2-pounder pom-poms, and 4 4-inch dual gun double twin turrets. What? I just completely lost everything there. Also, you may have noticed that for this particular replay, I am pink. That's what happens when someone decides they're heading away from you, so it's okay to launch torpedoes, and then they turn back into your... Yeah, accidentally team killed someone. Anyway, this opening salvo, this is spectacular against my evil twin, the corrupt abyssal Warspite. This I never expected. The dispersion doesn't look too great, but 31,500 damage. That hurt to watch. And I just had to damn, I'm sorry. I never thought that was gonna happen. That hurt me too. But to be honest, this is the start of great things. It often is, and this particular replay is fantastic in at least one respect. I will title this particular replay, not this video, this replay, Cheeky Brexit Drive-By. And for reasons that will become readily, easily apparent later on. I apologize if I keep sounding different. I keep having to change the gain on my microphone. It's a brand new one, and I'm still not quite used to it. This flank of fault line is where the majority of our action in this particular replay is going to be happening. You can see over there an enemy Emerald class light cruiser, and over behind me is a kamikaze R who has launched his torpedoes, and I now must take evasive action. Enemy aircraft, Douglas TBD Devastators from the enemy Vogue. Comically, the kamikaze R's torpedoes run out of range, because he obviously doesn't know how to play the ship. Or maybe he does, you never know. There's some pretty bloody great players out there. and they can use the kamikaze R quite effectively. Those Devastators have my friendly Dunkirk targeted, and they have dropped their torpedoes, but it's not a very good drop. Only 2 of those torpedoes actually make contact, but 2 is often enough. That Dunkirk probably has some flooding and has had to use its damage control. Again, not entirely sure about that, but it's entirely possible. I spy a juicy New York. Open fire, and the dispersion isn't particularly great. 4,902 damage. That, coupled with a salvo from the Dunkirk. The kamikaze's made himself known. Tried to pick on the Emerald. Well, the Emerald may be limited to shitty armor piercing, but at least it's enough. It should be enough. That kamikaze is gonna die pretty soon. And there's the New York. Yeah. The New York is not a particularly great ship. At tier 5, oh god, 9,500 damage. It really just doesn't fit well into a battle where it is not the highest tier. When it's the maximum tier, when it's top tier in a battle, absolutely an incredible ship. I would know. When it's not, however, it's not. I mean, here it's the middle tier battleship, but it's still heavily outclassed by a Warspite. And this here Warspite is gonna put a pretty big dent in the enemy team. And there's the enemy Emerald. No, it's not, it's New York. What the hell? I thought it was the Emerald. I'm getting my timestamps mixed up. That's what you call pulling a Jingles. Yeah, getting your ship types mixed up. That rarely happens to me. I always try and do my best. More TBD Devastators on the way. They have taken the long route around, and they're gonna get shredded by anti-aircraft guns. And in fact, I think they have. More shells incoming. Where did that come from? I think that's probably the New York. Ah, yes, the Kirov gives me a parting gesture. Fire from his 7.1-inch guns. But now the Emerald is going to come out of from behind the island. There he is, and he's at just enough of an angle that, yeah, my shells, they bite into his armor. And we have one dead light cruiser. And now this cap is ours. Don't really have to worry much about the enemy team. The New York is behind the island. And the Bayern has disappeared, and, well, I'm not detected, which means he can't see any of us. A cap is ours, and B cap is about to become ours as well. And what I'm thinking here is, me and this Cleveland, we're going to pull a sort of pincer maneuver on this New York. I really wanted him to come out and try and have a battle with me. Unfortunately, it was not to be. He decided he was going to drive out in front of all the enemy guns rather than just mine. I really, really wanted to get some citadels on this guy. Yeah. 'Twas not to be. So instead, I'm going to power around this island, try and get some shots into him. But now the enemy Bayern has appeared once again. More Devastators inbound, and this time, like, there's only 2 of them. But 2 is often enough. And these planes, they're not panicked. Yeah, I just took a talk. and annoyingly 8,664 damage on the New York. That is not what I wanted, but now I'm under fire from the Bayern. I have the Bayern's undivided attention. So I figure, you know what? I'm going to give this Bayern my undivided attention. I'm going to focus on him and only him. Ignore the New York. Bayern for me, please. Annoyingly, my double click button decided it wasn't going to double click, and it fired just one gun. Yeah, I've taken some heavy damage, but this Bayern's taking a lot more. You see, his secondaries are mixed, high explosive and armor piercing, whilst mine are fully high explosive. And this here salvo, for my forward guns, oh yes, 10,000 damage. And that's not a citadel penetration. It's hard to citadel any of the German battleships. And this here, this is the cheeky Brexit drive-by. And I don't take credit for the name. In fact, that credit goes to the enemy emerald. Look at the chat. It's gonna pop up any second now. This EU, I do not want to be a part of you anymore. I had initially wanted to ram this guy, but I decided, you know what, I want to survive. And surviving was actually the right thing to do, because if I hadn't been here, if I hadn't been there to end the game, well, a lot of things would have gone heavily wrong for us. We were actually going to lose, and through my efforts alone, I got us to win. Now, the current ship counts are pretty even, but the point scores, they're not even. We are, well, we have something like a 250 point deficit, I think. Yeah, about that. You see, they have 2 caps. They managed to take B back from us. And, well, they've lost a couple more ships. If they keep those 2 caps, they're gonna win. But of course, I did just spoil the outcome of this match, so you know we're going to win. Not them, I am. But you can see that this enemy team, they are really quite forcing the issue. They want to win, we want to win. And now, they have 2 battleships, both New Mexico class. They have a Kirov class light cruiser, or it's more of a heavy cruiser really. And then there's me and the Warspite, a Koenig class battleship, and 2 light cruisers of our own, a Cleveland and an Emerald. So I guess you could say we've got the upper hand, though a Koenig versus a New Mexico is, well, it's not the best matchup. Really, it would be better if it was a Bayern, or perhaps a Koenig versus a Congo, but you have to use what forces you have, and a Koenig is what we have. There's the first New Mexico. My forward turrets are out, and god, the shells take ages. And they all, one of them hit, but it didn't do any damage. Admittedly, this part of the game, it is a little slow-paced, thus is the nature of a battleship. But both of the New Mexicos have now reappeared. They know we're heading to B. They are rushing to defend. Rushing. They only do 21 knots. Anyway, more shots are out, and this, particularly the New Mexico, is under a lot of fire, but it's not doing a lot. Our emerald has smoked up. I am bringing my rear turrets to bear, and rear turrets have been fired. And, oh wait, I paused. Why did I pause? I'm not sure why I paused here. I sent things down to 100 times speed. 100 times slower, even. I don't know why I did that. But anyway, 8,000 damage on that New Mexico, and then the Kirov appears. And that Kirov is certainly a very juicy target. Can't let up this opportunity because he's going to be behind a rock soon enough. Well, he would have been if he decided to keep going at a decent pace. Instead, he slowed down, and I get a one mighty citadel. Not so much with the second salvo, but it does at least make him easy cannon fodder. We have unfortunately lost our Cleveland, but they have just the New Mexicos left. Now this particular battleship I'm focusing on, the guy driving this one, apparently he thought I was an idiot. Yeah, you see, no matter how much of an idiot I might have been, you're more of an idiot for showing me this broadside of your battleship. What do you mean? He's angled it, right? No, now he's turning and giving me a perfect broadside. What does he think I'm gonna do? That I'm gonna focus on the other one? No. Yeah, he even put it in chat later. I figured he was an idiot. Oh dear. Showing your broadside to a battleship? That is a paddling. It doesn't matter how mighty you think you are. A standard type battleship will not stand up to firepower of this magnitude. As this New Mexico is also going to find out. 18,000 damage. Mate. Oh, mate. You're just making it easy for me. Oh. And of course my secondaries are giving this guy the workover. But you see, all I need now is just one more salvo and goodbye. You are the weakest link. 182,786 damage with 4 citadels, 4 kills, a Confederate, and the high caliber. Top of the team on experience earned with 2,338 base experience. Almost 5,000 damage from the secondaries, and 3,000 damage in fires. And of course, 500,000 credits and 7,000 experience. And you know what? I was going to make this video 2 replays long, but that would have made it half an hour long. And I decided 20 minutes is good enough. So you can expect the other replay I was going to feature to appear on this channel pretty soon. Thank you ever so much for watching. Have a good one, folks, and I'll see you in the next one. Good night.